Good morning, Philadelphia, and welcome to another edition of Race on Main Street. We have a terrific guest today.
We're back.
We're back.
Janeene High from Results Driven Marketing is going to be with us, and she's going to tell us how to optimize your internet presence.
By turning clicks into clients. Good morning, Philadelphia, and welcome to another episode of Race on Main Street. Thanks for joining us. We have a terrific show for you as we start our second season, and I just want to remind you that if you want to check out all of our past episodes, you can always go to raceonmain.com and check out all of the great community interest pieces that we've done and businesses that we've spoken with and all of that great information. So please sit back, grab your favorite drink, spend a half an hour with us, and we have some great information to bring to you today. But as always, as I mentioned last time around, I have to mention my stew chef, number two, side help, which is the greatest I have ever heard from my son, Jake.
Jake
Yep.
said that I was the side help, which I and he and I, we always joke about that.
There you go.
I proudly wear the mantle of being the side help.
The side help.
Yes.
So, and business partner, Stuart Race. I should bam!
Here I am.
Yep.
So
6 chins missing.
I lost a little weight. It's amazing how, a real health scare can motivate you.
Although, what's funny is, and I know this you will not like hearing, but I'm going to say it anyway, your mother thinks you look handsome.
I know.
Either way.
And we have to get her to stop saying that in public out loud all the time.
It's hilarious.
Got to really rein her in.
Yeah.
But, hey, if your mother doesn't think you're handsome, then no one does, right?
Life is over.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's the holiday season.
We're stepping up on the holiday season. It's getting busy.
It's getting busy. And part of the holiday season is Amazon is taking over the world.
They are.
And their commercials. I don't know if you see the commercials with the singing boxes now, which is a little disquieting. I don't know,
I haven't seen.
It's not that it rubs me the wrong way. It just makes me uncomfortable.
It's like a little eerie.
The fact that, so they're putting these boxes in my house, and these boxes are going to communicate with me and spy on me and team up with Alexa or whatever it is they do.
There's some funny stuff that goes on with that, I guess.
All the Alexas in the world started giggling 2 weeks ago or something. It was like
I won't have one in my house.
But speaking of Amazon, they have finally seemed to have decided on where they're going to put this second generation headquarters, and it's not in Philadelphia,
unfortunately.
Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, there were pros and cons.
It's never a good thing.
Why? So why is it a bad thing?
Because it's Amazon. I mean, you'd say no more. I mean, those guys are brilliant. The company.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's remarkable what they've done. The money that they fuel into systems, let's say, is just and the amount of people they employ.
It's not just the amount of people they employ, though, which would be
it's everything
substantial.
Correct.
So it's more a function of if you're going to be a world-class city, you need Amazon.
Yeah.
It would have ratcheted Philadelphia right up into the
power structure. We've Comcast. I mean, it's a huge. I know. I read some of the details about it, and there was the state lost really because it was it's not a Philadelphia-driven thing. It's driven by the state because while there are tax breaks in the city, there are huge state tax breaks and I think and subsidies that are granted to them, and they missed a little bit by having it there. I think Amazon. I mean, to put it here would have been perfect. They're that close to New York. They're that close to Washington, D.C. They could have had one place to come to.
But apparently they're splitting the headquarters now between New York and Washington, D.C. So,
I mean, that to me is they New York has got obviously the hub for distribution, and Washington, D.C. has all the politicians. So I'm assuming that played into it.
So is it a missed opportunity in terms of attracting other companies, or are we still in the game for other big companies?
I mean, I'd like to think that you get the opportunity. If Amazon had said,
if we were on the short list,
that we were on, and it was a very short list that we were on,
Sure.
that others, it's got to promote them, or at least their thought process to coming this way, or at least giving us a look. That to me is a function now of the newly reelected governor. To me, the executive team of the state needs to go seek those opportunities out, and I would strike while the irons are hot. And that's how, if I were in that position, that would be my goal right now. Let me go see who else is out there looking. Who competes with Amazon? Let's put them right in the middle.
Walmart. I don't think they're going to move out of Arkansas.
I don't think so, but but whoever it might be, even if it's larger distribution centers, whatever the case may be. But I think it's a good thing for the city
to have been on the short list.
I think so. I think that you can use, it will give other companies a reason to look this way. Right. Why did Amazon look this way?
Fair enough.
I just read a few things about the president and CEO of those guys are.
Is Jeff Bezos still the president?
So I was reading about his net worth. It said he was worth $125 billion rather.
$125 billion?
That's what it said.
That seems high.
It does. But I mean, what's 10?
Once you're above the 50 billion mark, I think you're.
You got six other people to fight with as to who's got the most money.
Well, at any rate, speaking of Amazons, our guest today is a kick-ass woman. So that's a segue. I don't know if that's a good segue or not, but Janeene High is your dedicated Google girl. The company is results-driven marketing, and what they do is turn clicks into clients. So welcome, Janeene.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
This is a great show to have. There's so much internet, I'm going to say confusion. There's so much opportunity. It's so vast. It's sort of like saying, hey, go fish in the ocean kind of thing. It's this vast, gigantic body of water when you look through the world. The internet is not that dissimilar, in my opinion. So you go out and help folks focus that quite a bit in order to help them with their marketing. So welcome. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the company.
Sure.
Tell us, give us all the good stuff.
Sure. So Results-Driven Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency where we primarily, and it's woman-owned and operated, and we primarily focus on pay-per-click advertising, search engine optimization, social media management, just to name a few. We do a lot of press releases and just a lot of various services that we provide to small to medium-sized businesses. And we work with all industries. So I started with a larger corporation back in 2006. And one of the things that I had noticed with them, one of the challenges that they had was that they had so many clients, about 30,000, that they couldn't really, focus on the clients' campaigns as they should. And so I noticed a lot of things falling through the cracks. And when I opened the doors to Results-Driven Marketing in 2013, one of my goals, we have 10 employees, and so we are smaller, which gives us an advantage where we can really focus on the client, handhold, let them know exactly what's going on throughout the process so that they're never, wondering if their campaigns are working or not. We really go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Turning clicks into clients. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
So a lot of agencies out there will say, hey, we'll get you a ton of traffic to your website, and they'll report back all of these analytics, which really business owners don't really care about. They just want one thing. They want more business. And so we came up with turning clicks into clients because we want our clients to know that we take it one step further. We really optimize their campaigns to the fullest so that they know that they're getting business. One of the things that really makes us different is the fact that we really focus on ROI, return on investment. So a lot of agencies, there's so many agencies out there that can do what we do, but I think the thing that sets us apart is the fact that we will go and listen to every single phone call that comes through any campaign that we run. So we'll go and we'll report back to the client exactly what has occurred, what the potential client called about, what are they inquiring about, did they schedule an appointment with you? How your staff answers the phone. So that I think one of the challenges a lot of businesses have is that their staff might maybe could use a little bit of help answering the phones. A lot of businesses lost just for that first point of contact. So if there's long hold times, or if there is, they're not answering the questions, or maybe they're not as friendly as they could be, we'll let them know about that to help them close more business.
I think it's funny that the internet, but it still comes down to how you answer the phone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we still haven't gone beyond. I mean, that's the robot apocalypse is not yet upon us, because you still have to answer the phone properly.
You have to answer. I mean, honestly, I think it's the most important thing. That is the first point of contact, and that is how business is lost. And the business owners, they're so busy that they don't know. They're depending on their staff to answer the phones properly, and then, a lot of business can be lost that way, unfortunately. So at Results Driven Marketing, we make sure that we are constantly in front of the business owner to let them know how their phones are being answered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you, just as a sidebar or side question to it, do you ever call some of the businesses just to sort of check in? Like, let me,
I have.
Yeah, let me pretend I'm a client or a consumer just to see how it's going.
I have.
Yeah.
I mean, we have clients who spend a decent amount of money with us, and we want to make sure that, that they're getting what they're paying for. And so if I call and I notice that I'm on hold for 3 minutes, I email the client right away to let them know, hey, Sarah left me on hold for 3 minutes. So I just want to let you know. And if it continuously happens, because we will spot check here and there for them just to let them know. Yeah. So it's a
all right.
really
Well,
great feature.
let's get off the phone for a minute.
Sure.
Because first of all, are all of your clients, are they all service-oriented businesses? Are there any like retail establishments? Does it ever?
So
is it limited in any fashion to
No.
any type of business? So all right. So let's go to Main Street then. Let's talk about a bakery.
okay, sure.
Okay, a bakery shows up and they want a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
So depending on their goals and objectives, I would probably say they want business right away, and so I would probably recommend a pay-per-click campaign. It's where you pay Google directly.
So what okay, so to take us through, what is a pay-per-click campaign?
Sure. So it's just as it sounds. We display an ad on Google or Bing or Yahoo, and someone sees it, they click on it, you pay for it. The cost is always determined by the advertisers themselves. So for example, the bakery, let's say there's 6 bakeries that are all bidding on the same keyword. In order to come up higher, you need to bid higher. It's a bidding war. And the cost is determined by the advertisers, not Google.
That's interesting. So the advertisers on the internet decide what the cost is going to be. So if there's a very popular term, that's what it sounds like you're getting at. If there's a super popular term that 1,000, 500, or 25 people, I guess, in a sort of given area want, that drives the cost up because there's more desire to have those terms.
Absolutely, and we work with a handful of lawyers, and because their industry is so competitive, they are willing to spend, some of these personal injury lawyers, $150 to $200 for one click. It's crazy, and so it drives the cost up, and it's very competitive. However, in 2017 alone, there were over 7 million advertisers that spent over $10 billion on Google AdWords. So it works. Obviously, they're spending it for a reason.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're right. They wouldn't spend it if there wasn't merit in that.
Right.
So this bakery, let's go back to the bakery.
Does it all come down to picking the right word?
It does. There's a lot of keyword research that goes into it, and our team is very knowledgeable on that. So we figure out, we'll start out with some basic keywords, but every day we go in and optimize the campaign to make sure that if a phone call comes in from a certain keyword, we'll continuously test it. And if it continues to do well, we'll keep it in the campaign. On the flip side, if keywords are not performing, we eliminate them.
So when you say keywords, I want to just make sure I understand this. When you say keywords, you mean if I have an ad placed that's going to follow, that it's going to follow somebody around, let's say, on the internet. That's what you're talking about. So as this person searches a particular keyword, this bakery could potentially be following them around. Is that?
Well, that's
am I getting a little bit off topic?
That's display advertising, so that's something else that we do. But yes, essentially someone goes into Google, they type in bakery near me, And what our job is to do at that point is to make sure that that business is on the first page of Google. It's all done through bidding. There's things called quality scores, all these techie things that go in on the back end.
Right.
But we are just constantly making sure that the keywords that are popular are obviously going to be more expensive, but they're the ones that are worth it because other advertisers want them too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
Makes me fear Google a little bit.
makes me want to buy Google stock a little bit.
Google's very powerful.
She said 7 million companies spent $10 billion.
$10 billion
On Google.
in 2017, yeah. Crazy. And their ad network is huge. They have over 2 million websites and applications in their ad network. And so there's a lot of exposure that these businesses can get.
Yeah, it's
So
unbelievable.
so what's the difference between that and the thing where I search bakery and every time now I open up a website or Google or YouTube, the ad that pops up is something about a bakery. How does that happen?
It's a little Big Brother-ish, isn't it?
It's a little,
That's
there are
what-
people, well, there are people who have, I know, a huge problem with that. I don't happen to be one of them. I just click,
I think it's great.
or I
if-
pay for the premium service and I don't have an ad,
Right.
which I guess is bad. Actually, I don't. Don't do that. don't do that.
you know what? I love. I honestly, just like you were saying, I love that it follows me around because it's honing in on what is important to me. I would
But
rather.
are you the person who makes it happen?
We do. We do. It's all done through a cookie. A cookie is dropped on your computer, and then based on your behavior and where you're surfing online, that ad is then displayed to you wherever you're surfing. So you could be looking at recipes on marthastewart.com, and that the bakery ad will come up and appear for you. And it's not a pop-up. It's literally there's publishers that allow advertising online, and then we display that ad there for the business.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's to me, it's very complicated, but yet it sounds like you have it down to a science,
Yeah.
and that's what you're getting with results-driven marketing.
Yes.
You're getting that scientific approach to figuring these things out, so that you don't making it incredibly cost-effective to be able to do this as a way to promote your business. It's really it's incredible.
And I only pay for the clicks that are the people that don't, like when the ad comes up and someone hits skip ad, I don't pay for that. Or how, like, because you said that I only pay for
If
when the
someone-
people actually see my ad.
So in a pay-per-click campaign, yes, you're only paying if somebody clicks on your ad.
Okay.
On
So
the-
when I Google, it's a verb, bakeries close to me,
Yes.
and my bakery, or the baker, I'm the baker. So my bakery comes up on the first page.
Yes.
And then someone clicks on my website.
Yeah, clicks on the ad that goes to your website.
Okay, so that's where I'm losing it, because when I Google something, the whole bunch of websites come up.
Yes, and they're like little snippets of the website. It's
Right.
like a small little snippet
Yeah.
of words. And you don't pay anything just to be shown on Google. That's what we call an impression in our industry. It's just you're there. But when somebody clicks on your ad, they're then taken to your website. So they're going away from Google, they click on your ad, and now they're on your website. And that is when you would pay
So
whatever
that's
the
different
cost.
than clicking on the website itself.
Correct.
I see.
Yes.
So like the first 2 or 3 or 4 things where it says ad, that's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
That's a pay-per-click campaign.
Yes, and a couple of years ago, they used to have ads on the right-hand side. We used to call it the number 7. So there would be ads displayed at the top and then on the right.
Yep.
And then what Google did is they took those ads off the right-hand side away, so that only the top and bottom now, there used to be 15 spots, and now there's only 7 or 8. So it's a lot more competitive and a lot more expensive.
A lot more expensive.
They're
Yeah.
smart. Google, Big Brother. They
Skynet.
yeah,
Or Skynet.
It's
Gonna go- at some point it'll become self-aware and realize that we're the weak link.
I guess
It'll just run
It's
itself.
amazing, though. I mean, the access to information is it's incredibly special, I think.
Yeah.
So,
So is this, and I know one term, so
Sure.
I'm dangerous. So is this what you call search engine optimization?
No, that is different from
See,
pay-per-click.
I told you I was dangerous.
Yes,
All right,
so-
so tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me the difference.
So search engine optimization is what we call the organic section. So you don't pay Google to be there. You're there through other other services that we provide, such as backlink building and content creation. That accounts for about 60% of what Google looks for to rank you in that organic section. So they're two completely different sections on Google, and when an advertiser comes to me and says, which one should I do? I always say, do both if you can afford to, because the more real estate that you can get on the first page of Google, the more advantageous it is for you.
And that search engine optimization, the SEO as you hear it being called, that part to it, which again, that's incredible as well. So you need to go in, if I understand this correctly, and write on the website or the keywords or components of the website in order for that to be higher up on the list. Is that what you mean by the design sort of behind the scenes that you help with, or is it more technical than that?
It's a little bit more technical than that. I mean, yes, there's what we do on-site optimization. So any content that's on a website, we'll go in and make sure that we optimize it so it's fitting within Google's best practices, what they're looking for. There used to be people who would do what we call keyword stuffing, where they would just put in all these keywords into their website. It wouldn't even make sense what you're reading, but they thought, hey, let me just put that keyword in there so that I can rank for it. Google's smart, they pick up on that and they penalize you for it. So we have to make sure that we write really unique quality content that Google will see and say, oh wow, this business is really relevant. You know, they know what they're talking about, let's rank them for it.
So Google has some kind of analytics.
Yeah, they have an algorithm which they change very frequently.
Why do they change it? Doesn't that make it harder for people like you to figure out what?
Yeah, that's why they change it.
So why are they doing that?
They do it because, and I'll tell you my opinion on it, but as I said, with pay-per-click marketing, you're paying Google, so they're happy,
okay.
you know. With search engine optimization, you're not paying Google. So they do make it a little bit more difficult for businesses to rank in that area.
I see.
Once you buy the ads.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have this bakery running around.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your optimal client? Like who are you looking for to work with?
Really, it's any small to medium-sized business, and
what's that mean?
So a solo practitioner, it could be a business that has 5 employees or one that has 50. You know, so
is it revenue based, like in terms of how?
No, we work with all different budget types. In fact, I have a client who's been with me for 12 years at this point. When he first started, it was not nearly as competitive as it is now, and so he was able to spend, you know, $500 a month and actually be competitive in his industry. But now there's no way he would be able to survive within his industry on that kind of budget. However, all industries are different. You know, as I said, attorneys have to spend a lot of money because it's so competitive, whereas a bakery does not. Their average transaction value is a lot smaller, so their cost is going to be a lot smaller as well.
At least Google's picked up on that to make sure that it can be, you know, sort of obtainable by a smaller business from that standpoint when you're using some of these techniques rather, or pieces that Google sets out. So I have a question though, this is a little bit different because we always talk about Google. Sure. Does it work exactly the same way on like Yahoo?
It does.
Yeah,
so it's a dedicated Google.
I understand that, but it's this community of information that we're putting out there.
It does, and actually, so Google's the lion's share. That's where everybody typically will search.
Sure.
So Yahoo.
Nobody Bings on the internet. They Google on the internet. So.
I understand. That's Microsoft. That's not even Yahoo.
Well, some people do, and it's, you know, it's about 20. I believe it's about 29% between the two of them.
Right.
And it's smaller, which makes it actually a lot less expensive. The clicks aren't as expensive on those search engines because, you know, again, not as many people are using it.
So can you do that? Like you can help folks?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's not like it's exclusively Google.
No.
It could be anywhere on the internet, that vast internet.
Anywhere on the internet. And in fact, if we do know that somebody has a smaller budget and they really want to do a pay-per-click campaign, we'll make sure, we'll give them that option. Hey, maybe we start out with Yahoo and Bing first and then move to Google later because it is more expensive. So there's so many different ways that we can tailor, you know, somebody's marketing budget to make sure that there's still what I would say a big fish in a smaller pond.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So where do you see your portion of the industry headed over the next 5 years? You know, I mean, are we literally going to get to a point at some point in the future where there's just no paper publication anymore?
I believe so. I mean, listen, when I started 12 years ago, everybody was advertising traditionally, like in the phone book, print advertising. Right. the phone book is really no longer. Nobody uses it anymore. We use it just to cold call people, to get more business, really. That's the only thing. But so yeah, I think every single year the ad spend is going up. People are using their phones. I mean, you see it. You're in a restaurant, everybody's on their phone, unfortunately. And they're just constantly getting on social media, on Google and Googling things instead of having conversations. So it's just, I think that and also, artificial intelligence, people are always asking questions to Google, So we also optimize for things like that. We're really ahead of the curve in that realm because we want to make sure that we're, optimizing for questions, not just keywords.
Right. And one of the other pieces as we talk about this is the idea of the social media piece, which is obviously funneled through and handled over the internet, but that's obviously a big part of what you do.
Huge.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that, like how folks might utilize you in order to help them with their social media, to organize it, keep it moving, keep it relevant, all that kind of stuff.
So we will take an industry, for example, we have an in-home care industry that we work with. And so we want to make sure, as you guys know, photos, they get a lot of engagement on social media. And so we want to really personalize the business and make sure that the local community knows exactly what they're about. So if they participate in charity events or, some kind of contest or team night out or things like that. We share a drive with the client, they upload the picture, we post it out on their behalf. And so we're really just trying to come up with more creative ways to not just promote their business, but show the other side of their business. They're actually people as well. And we relate pop culture to it too.
Yeah.
So
It's like this living, breathing item that goes on day in and day out.
That's what people are interested in. It gets the clicks.
I suppose.
Give us the website, please.
Sure, it's digitalrdm.com, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all of them.
Well, all right.
So it's not hard to find you.
No, not hard to find us at all. Just go Google Results-Driven Marketing Philadelphia, and you will find us.
Excellent. Give the website one more time.
digitalrdm.com.
All right. Well, thank you for being here
Thank
today.
you so much for having
very
me.
informative, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
It's great.
So,
All right. I got just so everybody knows, the last show.
yes,
I dominated your questions.
you did dominate my
I
questions,
did.
and the terrible aspect of this is that we're pretty much out of time.
So it's all right. Come on. hit
You
me
really
real
haven't.
quick.
You really don't care.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we're talking about Google.
Nobody flashed up a sign to me, so I just assumed we should keep going.
Really? They've been waving their arms for the last 5 minutes, and he's saying now go longer. So now I have to. So now I really do have to pull something out of my hat. So we're talking about computers. We're talking about Google. So it would behoove me to say something like well, what are the top 5 search engines or something like that.
Yeah.
But nobody cares about that. So what are my question then is, what are the top 5 websites that people visit? And Google doesn't count.
Okay, right.
'Cause
I figured that.
Yeah.
Okay. The number one has to be YouTube.
It is YouTube by,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like almost more than like all the others combined, which
Yeah.
is amazing to me because YouTube in like my house, where I have, I still have a teenager. I have a 17-year-old daughter. She's really not about YouTube. She's more about like Instagram and Snapchat.
But can you play music on it?
You play music on Spotify. Oops.
Yeah, but that's not.
Now I gave you the.
I knew it was Spotify. So, but no, I mean the answer is that you can't on Spotify. You can't visually play live concerts and things like that.
I
live
guess,
content.
Again,
So,
that's probably
Yeah.
the reason. YouTube is by far and away.
Yeah.
And
then-
shout out
and then-
to YouTube because the original CFO of YouTube, my alma mater, Albright College.
really?
Absolutely. He wasn't one of the inventors, the guys from PayPal. But they brought him on as CFO. We have less than 1 minute. Get us out
All
of
right.
here.
So wait a second. So Spotify was number 2.
Spotify was number 2.
Let me see if I can get number 3. I don't. Is it 76ers.com?
It is not 76ers.com.
All right. So with that, I just want to make sure that all of you can check out all of our videos, our past episodes at raceonmain.com. I want to thank Janeene High for being here, giving us all this great information. Don't forget your first responders out there. They're working hard, and it is cold out there. So keep them in mind. And also our sponsor, Redline Home Care. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.